Good afternoon, and welcome to From Where We Are, stories of news and culture through the lens of Southern California and USC. I'm Sophia Ainsworth.
And I'm Liam Wadey. We're coming to you live from Studio B in USC's Annenberg Media Center. It's Thursday, March 13th, 2025.
On today's show, we check in on a potential government shutdown, prepare for the blood-warm moon later tonight, and cruise into spring break. All that and more on From Where We Are.
But first, today's headlines.
The largest hip-hop festival in the world, Rolling Loud, is this weekend, Saturday through Sunday. Popular headliners include A$AP Rocky, Peso Pluma, and Playboi Carti. The festival will be held in Hollywood Park near SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. The confirmation of A$AP Rocky's performance came as a shock to many, because fans were uncertain he'd be available. He was originally announced as the headliner during his felony assault trial. In February, he was found not guilty.
Last night, USC's men's basketball beat Rutgers in the Big Ten Conference Tournament. The game kept fans on their toes. The Trojans dominated in the beginning, maintaining a 15-point lead for the majority of the first half. But the Rutgers Scarlet Knights battled back. They managed to tie it up, sending the game into double overtime, with a final score of 97-89 Trojans. Starting at the 14th seed, USC will now move on to play 6th seed Purdue tomorrow night in hopes of advancing further in the conference tourney.
Southern California's major storm this week didn't just bring rain, it brought a tornado. The small twister touched down in Pico Rivera with wind speeds reaching up to 85 miles per hour. The brief tornado was ranked a 0 out of 5 on the Enhanced Fujita scale, which measures tornado intensity. High winds still caused damage to trees and vehicles in the area.
Today, over 20,000 federal workers fired by the Trump administration have been given an order of immediate reinstatement by a federal judge. The California-based judge said the firings were done unlawfully as probationary workers in the departments such as the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy were reportedly terminated because of, quote, performance reasons. This was done despite employees saying they received positive feedback from supervisors.
Russian leader Vladimir Putin responded to the 30-day ceasefire proposal with Ukraine affirmatively. However, he expressed some hesitancy, saying he will only formally agree if this proposed ceasefire leads to, quote, enduring peace. Putin explicitly stated he does not want Ukraine to use the month-long recess to recuperate and wants specific plans for the transfer of troops back to Russia.
Did I just live through the apocalypse? Is there any sense in pretending things might be okay again?
A potential government shutdown is looming as the Senate needs to pass a continuing funding resolution before midnight today. Brian Nicholas has the story.
Congress needs a funding resolution to keep the government afloat before it heads into a potential shutdown. The current resolution bill that House Republicans passed this past Tuesday keeps the government funded for 6 months until September. This bill would help move President Trump's agenda further along. It passed in the House with 217 to 213 votes, with one Republican opposing the resolution and one Democrat voting in its favor. The bill is now in the hands of the Senate, where it faces opposition. The likelihood of the resolution bill to pass is uncertain, with many Senate Democrats opposing it. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer urged Senate Democrats to oppose the bill in hopes of coming up with a bipartisan solution. He called out Republicans for pushing the bill forward without Democratic input. Democrats oppose the resolution bill as they believe it gives more power to President Trump and Elon Musk to continue their drastic cuts to the federal government. The bill would increase military spending and cuts roughly $13 billion from certain non-domestic programs. A press conference was held this past Tuesday by Senate Democratic leaders. Chuck Schumer explained his concerns.
Elon Musk confirmed what many of us have long been warning about. Republicans are ready to gut Social Security and Medicare.
Republicans have pushed back, saying Democrats' concerns are unfounded. Democrats are hoping to pass a continuation bill that keeps the government afloat for a month instead of 6 months, as it will give time to renegotiate and work on a new appropriation agreements. The bill needs 60 votes to pass through the Senate, and that would require 7 Democrats to vote for it. Even if the Senate drafts a whole different bill, it would require the House to pass the bill, and the House is not in session again until March 24th. If the Senate fails to vote by midnight tonight, the government would immediately go into a shutdown, and federal workers would be furloughed without pay. This would affect some non-essential workers and food inspections in some federal health agencies, but would not have an impact on the United States Postal Service, federal agencies, banks, and TSA. For Anna Rig Media, I'm Brian Nicholas.
What do earthworms and the moon have in common? They are both involved in tonight's blood worm lunar eclipse. Jasmine Ying has the story.
Tonight, the moon will be darkened by the Earth in an event labeled as the blood worm moon. If you're wondering what worms are doing on the moon, believe it or not, that's the official name of March's full moon. Impressed by this phenomenon of earthworms appearing as the ground begins to thaw, the Old Farmer's Almanac deemed this amazing feat worthy of being connected to the moon for years to come. This year, it just so happens that it will appear darker in the sky due to the eclipse. But that's not the coolest part about tonight's rare event. Deputy Director of Griffith Observatory, Mark Pine, who is over the moon about this eclipse, explains what you will be seeing if you step outside tonight.
Lunar eclipses occur anytime the moon moves into the Earth's shadow in an alignment with the sun. And that happens on a regular basis, but we're not always in the path of where it's happening on the Earth. So in this case, most of the United States is in the path, and Los Angeles is obviously part of that. And so we will experience the moon being eclipsed steadily until it's 100% eclipsed. And that will last for a period of time, during which time the moon doesn't go completely dark. The collection of what you'd think of as sunsets around the world reflect on the moon, which is what gives it that reddish color.
And for those of you who look outside and only see cloudy skies, hop on over to Griffith Observatory's website. They will be live streaming the eclipse in its entirety.
In person, the eclipse occurs really late and after the park closes, so we will not be doing an in-person program. We will be doing a live online broadcast of the eclipse. That will start at 8:50 and last until 3:05. My recommendation is the time you want to start watching is just after 10, when the first visible bite comes out of the moon, because it moves from the penumbral shadow of the Earth into the umbral shadow of the Earth, which is darker, and that will cause the moon to look like somebody is taking a bite out of it. And that bite over time will get larger and larger and larger until we get to 11:26, which is when totality starts.
Whether you're watching from home or have your head tilted to the sky tonight, remember, you can thank the earthworms and the Earth's rotation for the darkened blood red moon. It'll be a monumental event. For Animate Media, I'm Jasmine Ying.
I'm Sophia Ainsworth. We're glad you're with us for From Where We Are.
And I'm Liam Wadey. It's 9 minutes past the hour. Coming up, we hear from immigration coalitions on recent events and spring into spring break. Stay with us. Tomorrow marks the start of spring break, even though we're mentally checking out at the end of today's show. Let's see what our fellow Trojans are up to during the spring break. Susan Urenda has the story.
March is midterm season for many USC students, but it also means spring break is just around the corner. Whether it's vacationing to the sandy white beaches of Cabo or skiing in the mountains of Colorado, the mid-semester break can't come soon enough for Trojans. Spring break allows students to enjoy some downtown and reconnect with loved ones all over the globe. Connor O'Keefe is a philosophy, politics, and economics major. He's excited to experience the culture in Rome with his brother, who has been studying abroad there this semester.
He has a bunch of restaurants and like cool landmarks he wants to show me that he's been kind of exploring. And so I'm just looking forward to being able to spend time with him after being apart for a long time.
Bella Thurman, a theater major, won't be traveling quite as far, but she'll still get to spend quality time with family and friends.
I am going back home to Kentucky. I'm from a really small town, so I'll be going back to my grandparents' farm and chilling and sitting on our porch. I'll probably see a few of my hometown friends, and I think I'm going to have a sleepover with my baby cousins, which I'm excited for.
Although a lot of students will find themselves strolling through LAX over the next few days, not everyone is traveling via plane this spring break. Sebastian Rodriguez is a senior studying real estate development. He'll be spending this break sailing around Thailand.
Grew up sailing in San Francisco, and so my family's going to go on a boat, and we're going to sail around to different cool islands, enjoy the weather, enjoy the good food there, and just see what's going on.
Still, not everyone is sailing the seven seas and exploring new locations. For many, California is home. Maya Lee is a theater and American studies major, and she will be trading the beaches of Los Angeles for her hometown beaches in nearby San Diego.
I'm going back home to San Diego, so I'm super excited because I want to go to the beach, and then there's this little area called Barrio Logan, and I'm excited to go get some Mexican food.
This will be Lee's last spring break. Although she will definitely spend time relaxing, she's also got her mind on this May.
I get to see one of my childhood best friends. She's helping me shop for my graduation outfit. So it's super exciting because we've been talking about it for a while. So I'm happy to see her, and also retail therapy post midterms.
No matter what your spring break plans are, we hope you have a good one. For Annenberg Media, I'm Susan Urenda.
Hi, it's me, you're all in danger. Never get invited cause I'm such a hater. Got my finger on the detonator.
Joining us in the studio now is Andy Rodriguez and Gavin Mark to share their super fun, exciting, and marvelous spring break plans with us.
Hello, y'all. How are you doing?
Good. Amazing.
Amazing to hear. So where are you all going for the spring break?
I'm going back home for a bit. I'm splitting my spring break into two halves. So I'm flying into Sacramento tomorrow to see my family and hang out with friends and just take some time to relax. And then I'm coming back to LA to then go to Joshua Tree with a bunch of friends for the last little bit of spring break to kind of be around this USC community too.
That sounds fun. I've always wanted to go to Joshua Tree, so I'm a little jealous over here.
I'm excited. I've never been. It's going to be a great time.
That's cool, new experiences. And then what about you, Andy?
I'm also going back home, but I'm going back home the whole time. Just gonna be with my family and my dogs.
Ooh, your dogs. That's exciting.
Yes. And out in the nature, you know, I'm like from the Central Valley where there's like just, that's all there is. So kind of like reconnecting with that, getting away from the city and stuff.
Yeah, that seems really chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something I've noticed about a lot of USC students is that a lot of us prefer to go home almost for spring break because a lot of people aren't from the Los Angeles area. Spring break's the only time we can go home and see our families. I think it's really interesting. Yeah. And so what are you each most excited for over break? Excited to see? Excited to do?
Honestly, I'm excited to have some like fun day trips. I know that like me and my family are going to go to San Francisco for a day or go to Sonoma or go to like fun little areas that I don't get to explore around as much, because I think that's the biggest thing, like being here at USC. Like I feel like I try to explore as much as I can, but sometimes it feels really hard to explore with classes and clubs and everything. So going home and having that time to just like discover new areas is always the best.
Yeah, I love San Francisco. I'm from Oakland, so it's like 20 minutes away. So I'm going back home for spring break. So I'm going to be in San Francisco too some of the time.
There you go.
Well, for me, I think I'm just going to eat a lot with my family. Like I'll ask my mom to make me food every single day that I'm there because I miss her cooking. Like we actually have a whole carne asada planned again.
Oh, that sounds so good.
I miss it so much. Like obviously I'm not able to have it here like my mom and dad make it. So be eating a lot of that.
Yes. I miss my mom's cooking too. She makes some good fried chicken, so I can't wait to have that when I get back. So many students have expressed how excited they are to finish up their midterms this semester and skip off into the sunset for spring break, while others have midterm exams persisting after the break. So what is y'all's opinion on midterm season, like sandwiching between spring break? Should they all be done before the break, or do you think it should be like after as well?
You know what? Most of my midterms have been before the break, luckily, and they've also been pretty spread out. So I've had about 1 to 2 midterms a week, which is nice because I don't have them all in the same week, and I have more time to study and comprehend the material that we're learning to my full extent. But I will say when I get back from break, I do have another midterm for my law class. But I think it's all right because it's all like media that we're consuming in that moment and things that we're learning in that present time. So over break, it just gives me more time to like keep that in my head and really comprehend it more.
Mine were quite the opposite. They were a little spaced out. I had one last week, and then I literally just came out of one like a couple hours ago.
Oh.
And then I also have one like after spring break, which, you know, I'm not mad about. I'm actually glad they were kind of like separated so I can like dedicate time for each of them separately and not have to like stress about them simultaneously. That would have literally killed me.
Yeah, that would have killed me too. So
Yeah, I feel like kind of a black sheep. I am so glad all of mine are done before spring break, and then I can just like take a deep breath and then be done.
yeah, I'm finished with all my midterms, so I'm very happy. So now we're going to play a little game, or a little spring break this or that game. So we're just going to be telling y'all this or that between like 2 different things. So let's start off with sunglasses or baseball caps.
Sunglasses. I hate hats.
Oh, you don't like hats?
No.
You know what? And I'm literally wearing a baseball cap right now.
So sorry.
But I'm also going to have to go with sunglasses because they're sunglasses. Who doesn't love sunglasses? Protect your eyes. You know?
Yeah, very true, very true.
I love sunglasses too. I would pick that too, y'all. And then what about flip-flops or Crocs?
Famously, I wear flip-flops like all the time. So I'm going to have to go with flip-flops. There's just something about them that I like.
calls
But
to you.
I love my Crocs. My Crocs are
love
like
Crocs.
giant though. Like I look like a clown when I wear them. So I guess I don't wear them all the time.
Yeah, same for me. Like Crocs make my feet sweat. So
Oh yeah.
I'm really big on Crocs. I have these yellow Crocs that I wear a lot, so I've got to choose Crocs for myself.
I was gonna say, I feel like you can tell a lot about a person based on the color of their Crocs.
Oh, really?
Says a lot about
So
their
what color
personality.
Crocs do you have, Sophia?
I have pink Crocs,
Okay.
of course.
what does that say?
That I'm awesome and super cool.
Yes, I love that.
And super
Mine
humble
also
as well.
says that as well. That I'm awesome and super cool and very humble.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
So are we talking beach or are we talking the pool for spring break?
Me personally, the pool. Like I'm sorry. Like something about beach wind makes my hair look very ugly, and sand gets everywhere, and I don't like that.
You know what? For spring break, I'm going to also have to say pool. You know, Sacramento is not close to a beach, really. So it's nice to have my friends' pools around or just public pools. And then also, like, if you rent an Airbnb, which me and my friends are doing for our spring break trip, we have a pool there. So I'm really excited about that.
I love the beach, y'all. Like, the beaches in San Francisco are so beautiful. So I got to go with the beaches.
And then our last question is sunrise or sunset?
Sunset, because the sun sets over here. So the sunsets are better than the sunrises. I think that's like true, right?
Well, actually, I got into a debate about this very recently because apparently if you look like the other way or something, you can also see both. Like the sun rises in the east, but if you are looking towards the east, somehow you can also, I don't know. I still don't really get it, but.
I'm going to go with sunset still because I'm not up for sunrises. So
That's real.
Yeah, same.
Not at all.
I am not a morning person.
No.
Like if I see a sunrise, I will be in a grumpy mood.
I'm not a morning person either, y'all. Sunsets all the way.
Yes, well, thank you to both of you for joining us. We wish you both safe travels home and lots of fun over the break.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
so
Happy spring
much.
break, y'all.
Vacation all I ever wanted. Vacation had to get away. Vacation meant to be spent alone. Can't seem to get
And that's all we have time for on Today's From Where We Are. Daishalyn Satcher executive produced today's show. Jack Waterman produced today's show. We had help from David Sosa.
Our coach is Mallory Cara. Our audio director is Leslie Bearstein Rojas. Sam Bittman runs our soundboard, Will Gwynn is our live stream manager, and Derek Renfro composed our theme music.
Catch us live on YouTube at Annenberg Radio News Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Except for next week. It's spring break. We'll see you after that, y'all. Subscribe to From Where We Are wherever you're listening right now, and follow us on Instagram at Annenberg Radio. I'm Liam Wadey.
And I'm Sophia Ainsworth. From all of us at Annenberg Radio, wherever you are, we hope you'll join us again for
From Where We Are.
So actually, Liam and I took a BuzzFeed quiz, which are always 100% accurate,
Yes,
obviously,
indeed.
to tell us what kind of spring breaker we are. And what did you get, Liam?
I got the party person. What about you?
I also got partier, which is so interesting because both of us are going home over break.
Yeah, I think that's interesting too, like maybe just the party just follows us from where we are.
Happy spring break, everyone.
Yeah, happy spring break, y'all. Woo!